Adbn News at 7. The headlines. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu launches Education Dots project, targets 20 million out-of-school children. Fuel scarcity return, queues in FCT and neighboring states linked to high ex-depot prices. NIWA FEMD advises riverbank dwellers to relocate to safer grounds following flood alert in Nasarawa, Niger, Kogi and FCT. On the foreign scenes, Keir Starmer becomes UK Prime Minister as world leaders congratulate landslide victory. In sport, Nigeria's Falconets begin preparations for FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2024. Good evening, I am Beto Brian. Now the details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the commencement of DOTS project to overhaul the education sector. The decision is to increase enrollment and ensure the academic security of the nation's children and to combat growing issues of out-of-school children across the country. DOTS is an acronym that stands for Data Repository, Out-of-School Children's Education, Teacher Training and Development, Skill Development and Acquisition. This comprehensive initiative seeks to address crucial gaps in the nation's education system. Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, made the disclosure in Shabu, Nasarawa State, while performing the groundbreaking foundation laying ceremony of the National Examinations Council offices of Nasarawa, Abia, Sokoto, Taraba, Jigawa, Lagos, and Rivers States. He emphasized the urgent need for coordinated, verifiable, and authentic data across all educational aspects. The DOTS projects will enable the federal government to monitor students' progress effectively with data-driven interventions that will focus on out-of-school children, girls, and those with specific learning disabilities. President Tinubu recognizes that over 20 million out-of-school children pose a risk to national stability. His 8-point agenda prioritizes social welfare, health, and education. Returning these children to school is crucial for Nigeria's development. The 7 new NECO offices established under this project will enhance the examinations body's capacity to serve the Nigerian population. NECO Registrar Professor Dantani Ibrahim Wushishi praises the government's support. With Professor Wushishi's commendation, the federal government's commitment to education infrastructure, he said that the state offices in Nasarawa, Abia, Sokoto, Taraba, Jigawa, Lagos, and Rivers states would set new standards for examination administration. Nasarawa State Governor Alhaji Abdullahi Sule reaffirmed the state government's dedication to supporting federal agencies, including the education sector. Fresh queues for premium motor spirit, commonly known as petrol, has emerged in Abuja, parts of Niger, and Nasarawa states. The situation follows closures of several filling stations operated by independent marketers. Dealers shut retail outlets due to challenges in accessing petrol stemming from a recent hike in the ex-depot price of the product. Private depot owners raised the price to 710 naira per litre, while the pump price at the Nigerian National Petroleum Company retail station remains at 617 naira per litre. Motorists flock to the few filling stations dispensing petrol, particularly those operated by NNPC and major oil marketers. Notable locations experiencing long queues include the NNPC mega station of the Gwarimpa axis of the Zuba, Kubwa Expressway, Con Oil, and Total filling stations near the NNPC headquarters in Abuja, and Salba's filling station at the day end of the Zubwa Kubwa Expressway. Independent Petrol Marketers Association of Nigeria (Adbn), which owns over 70% of the filling stations nationwide, has attributed the queues to high ex-depot prices set by the private depots. Adbn's national president, Mr. Abubakar Megandi, explained that the cost of disparity between the private depots 710 naira per litre and NNPC's retail outlets 617 naira per litre made it challenging for independent marketers to sell the products profitably. Mr. Megandi emphasized that the situation affected Adbn's extensive network of retail outlets. While negotiations with NNPC are ongoing, the current allocation remains insufficient to meet the demands across Abuja's 250 Adbn-owned stations. Similar challenges persist in other states in the north, underscoring the need for additional supply volumes. Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima says Nigeria is targeting 40% of its GDP from the transportation sector to fully utilize the nation's population of over 200 million, hence the ongoing railway sector reformation program. Senator Shettima stated this while receiving the official second batch of Nigerian railway engineering graduates trained in China under the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company Social Responsibility Program. Recall that the company has already dispatched first set of railway engineer graduates who are also ready to work at various sections and offices of the Railway Engineering Company and the Nigerian Railway Corporation. Senator Kashim, who was represented at the occasion by Honorable Ibrahim Hassan Hadija, noted that the renewed hope agenda is targeting the transportation sector, where the country's highest GDP comes from, and possibly the railway for economic growth. While congratulating the returning graduates, he stated that they are now good products to contribute immensely in revamping the sector. Speaking earlier, Minister of Transportation, Senator Saad Akali, assured the government's commitment to collaborate with CCECC in an appreciation for its efforts working with the present administration. Senator Alkali said the company's efforts and the program execution is in line with the federal government's renewed hope agenda targeted at bringing democratic dividends to Nigerians through several collaborative efforts of multinational companies operating in Nigeria. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio, represented by Senator Amos Yohana, congratulated the returning graduates, indicating that it is time for the trained engineers to contribute meaningfully to the economy of the nation. While praising CCECC for the laudable initiative, he acknowledged that it has helped in training over 190 of Nigeria's young citizens. He charged other corporate organizations to emulate the gesture. Managing Director, MD of CCECC, Michael Yigwa, stated that the company since 2018 has collaborated with the federal government of Nigeria to select and sponsor young Nigerians for further education in China. He said the initiative has benefited over 40 students who have already returned to Nigeria after graduation last year, while the remaining 72 students have also successfully completed the academic journey in China this year. Also speaking on the development, Alhaji Maman Mustafa, a graduate who hails from Maiduguri, Borno State, said that the year 2018 was an extremely fortunate year for all students. Mustafa, who majored in road and railway transportation, pledged to utilize the knowledge gained in China to build a better transport system in Nigeria. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu underscored the critical importance of the power sector in economic development. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this when he visited the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, in his office. He praised the ongoing improvements in the power sector and emphasized the meaningful progress hinged on addressing the power sector's challenges. Speaking to the ministry's directors along the minister, Governor Sanwo-Olu urged them to continually enhance their performance. He highlighted the power sector's pivotal role in transforming the country's economy and as a catalyst for growth. Sanwo-Olu emphasized the significance of adequate power supply not only for energizing the private sector but also for empowering individuals and Nigerians. He said improved power availability reduces production costs, thereby enabling businesses to flourish and create more employment opportunities. He expressed confidence in the minister's abilities, citing his impressive track record. Governor Sanwo-Olu also advocated for Lagos State to receive due consideration in power infrastructure provision, recognizing its critical role as a microcosm of the nation. In his response, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Mahmudu Maman, expressed gratitude to Governor Sanwo-Olu for the visit, as she emphasized the need for cooperation and support from both government and private stakeholders to drive the sector's positive change in the Nigeria's power sector. Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Ishak Kunle Salako, paid a visit to Kano State to explore private partnerships for implementing the recently launched National Clean Cooking Policy, which he spearheaded. Accompanied by the Kano State Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Nasiru Goro, the other dignitaries, to include the minister, engaged with two prominent private players in clean cook stove manufacturing Nigeria, Burn Manufacturing, and Atmosphere, Climate and Sustainability Limited. During these interactions, Dr. Salako gained first-hand insight into their processes and products. Additionally, Dr. Salako inaugurated Atmosphere's new factory. The visit also provided an opportunity for him to contribute to his 2024 green resolutions by planting trees in the Northwest region. Hosted by Kano State Governor Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, the minister discussed the environmental sustainability plans. Governor Yusuf expressed Kano State's commitment to becoming a hub for climate action in Nigeria. Ministry of Environment's tree planting efforts have spanned across various sectors to include the South-South, North-Central, Southwest and now the Northwest. Dr. Salako announced the ministry's dedication to fulfilling the 2024 Green Resolution. Barnasera National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency has taken decisive actions against environmental infractions by sealing 46 facilities across 10 states in Nigeria. Enforcement exercise conducted in Borno, Gombe, Ogun, Edo, Osun, Enugu, Plateau, Nasarawa and Taraba states targeted facilities that failed to comply with provisions of the National Environmental Regulations. Among the offences cited were the violations of the Environmental Impact Assessment Act, absence of environmental audit reports, and failure to develop and implement environmental management plans. Some facilities faced sanctions for not installing effluent treatment plants, lacking necessary permits, and maintaining poor housekeeping practices. Director General of NASERA, Dr. Innocent Bariko, expressed concerns about the non-compliant status of many facilities, as he emphasized that this trend poses risk to citizens' health and the environment. Despite receiving notices of compliance, concerns as required by the law, these errant facilities continued operations that endangered the ecosystem. While rededicating NASERA's commitment to enforcing the provisions of the 35 national environmental regulations, he said NASERA would not hesitate to impose appropriate penalties on violators. Dr. Bariko underscored the importance of adhering to the laws for the smooth functioning of society and encourage Nigerians to be true environmental stewards by reporting violations and obeying the law. In response to early warnings from the National Inland Waterways Authority regarding rising water levels across the rivers and lagoons in Nigeria, the FCT Emergency Management Department, FEMD, has issued an appeal to residents living along water channels. FEMD advises residents to relocate to higher grounds to prevent loss of lives and property. NIWA specifically appeals to individuals residing near riverbanks, emphasizing the urgency of the relocation notice. Additionally, boat operators and passengers are urged to adhere strictly to safety regulations, including the compulsory use of life jackets. National Flood Warning Center in Abuja has also identified specific locations likely to experience heavy rainfall and potential flooding from July 6 to the 10th, 2024. These areas include Niger, Nasarawa, Kogi, and Kaduna states, and all the states sharing boundaries with the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Mrs. Florence Dawong Wengimie, the Acting Director General of FMD, underscored the importance of heeding early warning to prevent loss of lives during the wet season. She further explained that floods in neighboring states may lead to river flooding within the FCT. Motorists are particularly advised not to drive through flooded areas but to seek alternative routes or wait for water levels to subside. In cases of emergencies, residents are encouraged to use the toll-free number 112 with the urgency to prioritize safety and preparedness during this critical period. National Emergency Management Agency NEMA has reported that windstorms have impacted at least 9,733 houses in Adamawa State in 2024. Head of Operations in Adamawa NEMA, Mr. Ladan Ayuba, said the agency conducted assessments in several affected local government areas, including Jada, Hong, Mayo Belwa, Madalgal, and Furfura. Ayuba emphasized the need for residents living in flood-prone areas to relocate to safer places or higher grounds. The warning comes in response to predictions by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, that Adamawa would be among the states experiencing floods in 2024. The likely areas to be affected include Fufure, Yola North, Yola South, Jire, Numa, Lamurdi, and Gobia local government areas. Mr. Ayuba urged citizens to stay informed by listening to radio broadcasts and following NEMA's instructions. Additionally, he advised against drinking or washing clothes with floodwaters to prevent the cholera outbreak. People are also advised to only return home when the authorities deem it safe, as the floods waters resulting from the release of waters of the Lacto Dam in Cameroon. Sensitization efforts are also ongoing, and traditional leaders are encouraged to help disseminate critical information to their communities, especially those without access to media channels. You're watching ADBN News at 7. Still to come, troops neutralize 177 terrorists, arrest 263, and rescue 158 hostages within a week. Nigeria Customs Service reaffirms commitment to ongoing collaboration with NNPCL in fight against petroleum products smuggling. Remember, you can watch ADBN News on DSTV channel 258, on Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on www.adbntv.com. Stay with us for more stories after the break.
1 hour of your daily dose of news from around the world.
Whether it's a diplomatic breakthrough, a humanitarian crisis, or a scientific discovery, Global Digest gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Join me, Amma Marcus. Let's stay ahead of the curve with conversations that are shaping our planet at 11 a.m. on DSTV, channel 258, and on StarTimes, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government to first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top Adbn TV.
Thanks for staying with us in ADBN News at 7. And now to more stories in our bulletin. Defense Headquarters says its troops has eliminated over 100 terrorists and arrested over 200 of them within a week. Major General Edward Buba, Director Defense Media Operations, made this known in a statement. As is disclosed, the troops also arrested 41 perpetrators for oil theft and prevented oil theft of over 500 million naira, in addition to recoveries of 170 assorted weapons and over 4,000 assorted ammunitions. General Buba added that troops in the Niger Delta region discovered and destroyed 49 illegal refinery sites, 20 dugout pits, 32 boats, and 32 storage tanks. He further explained that the troops also recovered 58 cooking ovens, 17 vehicles, 1 pumping machine, 5 mobile phones, over 1 million liters of stolen crude oil, and over 100,000 liters of illegally refined diesel. The statement explains that the troops are taking the fight to the terrorists and making significant strides with each passing day. Nigeria Customs Service has reaffirmed its commitment to an ongoing collaboration with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, in the fight against petrol product smuggling. Following a meeting with NNPC delegates at the NCS headquarters in Abuja, Controller General of Customs, CGC Adewale Adeniyi, emphasized that the smuggling poses a significant burden on Nigeria's economy, noting the disparities in fuel prices between Nigeria and neighboring countries, which creates a strong incentive for smuggling. He also said to address this, the NCC, through its Operations Whirlwind, is working alongside other agencies to curb smuggling activities. CGC Adeniyi highlighted successful operations that exposes the indigenous methods used by smugglers. These, he noted, include clandestine connections between depot supplies and hidden jerrycans or vehicles near filling stations. He rededicated the NCC's determination to arrest offenders, confiscate products, seal filling stations, and hand cases over to the regulatory authorities. Despite these challenges, the fight against fuel smuggling remains a rewarding endeavor for the NCS. The coordination of Operation Wildwind, Controller of Customs Hussaini Ejubunu, reported significant victories since the operation began 5 weeks ago. Notably, the NCS recently intercepted approximately 79,000 liters of fuel destined for smuggling out of Kebbi states. In a related development, the NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer, Miele Kyari, acknowledged that fuel smuggling is a major national challenge. He sought the CGC's assistance in minimizing the illegal export of petroleum products, thanking the establishment and for its efforts in the Operation Wildwind, which curbed the volume of smuggled fuel, noting that it had decreased significantly. Kyari explained NNPC's readiness to support anti-smuggling efforts at Nigeria's borders, appreciating the impactful collaboration between the two agencies. Rivers State Police Command has issued a cautionary statement regarding potential cult-related activities across the country. According to SP Grace Iringekoko, the command spokesperson, intelligence reports indicate that the Neo-Black Movement, NBM, also known as Aye or Black Axe, plans to commemorate their Founders Day on July 7th. The event, dubbed Aye Day or 7/7, is expected to be observed nationwide, particularly in institutions of higher learning. The NBM has a history of violence, including campus killings and other inter-cult clashes. SP Koko emphasized that the group's activities could disrupt public peace, especially in their strongholds on campus. This risk includes forced initiation of innocent victims, as well as crimes to include rapes and armed robbery. In response, Commissioner of Police Olatunji Disu has directed area commanders, divisional police officers, and tactical team commanders to conduct preemptive and responsive raids. These measures will target cult hideouts, high-risk areas, and hotels that may serve as meeting points for cult leaders. To this end, parents, guardians, community leaders, and religious figures are urged to remain vigilant during this period and report any unusual gatherings. The police also says it aims to prevent the planned events, apprehend suspected cultists, and maintain public safety. Still to come on our bulletin this evening, world leaders congratulate UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on landslide victory. Nigeria's Falconets begin preparation for FIFA's Under-20 Women's World Cup 2024. Remember, you can watch ADBN News on DSTV channel 258, on Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, kindly visit our website on www.adbntv.com. Stay with us for more news from the foreign scenes after this break.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government to first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top Adbn TV.
1 hour of your daily dose of news from around the world.
Whether it's a diplomatic breakthrough, a humanitarian crisis, or a scientific discovery, Global Digest gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Join me, Amma Marcus. Let's stay ahead of the curve with conversations that are shaping our planet at 11 a.m. on DSTV, channel 258, and on StarTimes, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. European Union, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria, have congratulated Keir Starmer on his victory in the recently concluded UK general election. Starmer's centre-left Labour Party secured a decisive win, ending 14 years of Conservative rule. Starmer, the first Labour Prime Minister since Gordon Brown in 2010, was asked by King Charles III to form a government during a meeting at Buckingham Palace. In his speech outside 10 Downing Street, he emphasized the need for change and pledged to rebuild Britain's brick by brick. Labour secured an overhaul majority in the 650-seat House of Commons, winning 412 seats, with only 2 results left to declare. The Tories, on the other hand, won just 121 seats, a record low, while the right-wing vote was split by Nigel Farage's anti-immigration reform UK party. In addition, the smaller opposition Liberal Democrats ousted the Scottish National Party as the third largest party. Chancellor Rishi Sunak tendered his resignation after the depth of the Conservative defeat became apparent. Former Tory leader William Hugh described the result as a catastrophic result in historic terms. However, Professor of Politics Tim Bale suggests it wasn't as catastrophic as some predicted, and the Tories now face the decision on how to rebound. Brexit champion Nigel Farage, who finally became an MP, aims to fill the gap on the centre-right of Britain's politics. Labour's resurgence under Starmer marks a significant turnaround from 5 years ago, when Jeremy Corbyn led the party to his worst defeat in 1935. Starmer faces challenges including an anemic economic growth, overstretched public services, and financial pressure on households. He has also promised to restore political integrity after years of turmoil and scandal under 5 Tory prime ministers. Chancellor Sunak has apologized for the election's outcome, and Starmer's to-dos list is extensive as he takes on the role of Prime Minister. And on to news from the sports desk. With just 8 weeks remaining until Nigeria's Falconets kick off their campaign at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia, head coach Chris Danjuma has unveiled the initial squad for their training camp in Abuja. Leading the list of 32 invited players is the team captain, Oluchi, alongside key players such as first-choice goalkeeper Faith Omilan, defenders Sukurat Oladipo and Comfort Foloshoru, as well as midfielders Chinyere Kalu, Ado Aina, and Rufiet Imoran. The squad also includes forwards Janet Florence Sebastian and Aminat Bello. In Group D of the competition, Nigeria would face tough challenges from 3-time champions Germany, Asian powerhouse Korea Republic, and South American representatives Venezuela. Scheduled across 3 Colombian cities from August 31st to September 22nd, the tournament promises intense competition among the world's best young women footballers. All invited players are expected to report to camp on Sunday, July 7th to commence their rigorous preparations for the upcoming football tournament. That's it on ADBN TV News this evening. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258, on Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on www.adbntv.com. You can also watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to www.adbntv.com/live. I am Beto Brian, thanking you for watching. Good evening.